The winter meetings are over, and the Ketel trade rumors are dead. So we're not talking about them anymore. I'm totally kidding. We're totally talking Ketel trade rumors today. Why? What else do we have to talk about? Welcome into another edition of the PHNX Diamondbacks podcast, live from Studio K, presented by our friends at Circle K. It is I, your mayor of PHNX, occasionally known as Derek Montilla. Thrilled to have you guys here. Happy Friday to you all. We made it. We made it to Friday. Happy Friday, Emily Williams. Jason, great to see you in the chat. Fry-yay. And a big ski to Zabe, our MVP and our GOAT, who is untradeable, by the way. I'll remind you guys all that Zabe is not going anywhere. I got that man, that voice you heard, the peanut butter to my jelly. It is the Damon Fairall, a.k.a. Damon Dog on the ones and twos. Great to see you guys here. Happy Friday to you all. And again, the winter meetings are now over. I imagine I've only been to the winter meetings one time, and it was dreadfully boring to me. So I was not sad to leave, Damon. I was just more joyous about getting to go home.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
listen,
not my
Derek,
scene.
You strike me as a guy where, like, you know, it's like that. You're either going to be like, that was the greatest thing that's ever happened to me, going to the winter meetings, or that was a complete colossal waste of my time.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I'm learning to not do that. Okay, John Cena gave an interview where he discussed that too often in life we assess things as either a success or a failure, right? And yet we go through school our entire lives learning to receive grades on things on a much, I guess, kinder scale. Like, you'll have A's, you'll have B's. And he went on to say, much like myself, you'll have a lot of D days. You'll have a lot of C plus days. You'll have a couple of B minus days and very few A plus days. But not everything in life needs to be an F, or an A plus, right? And you're right when it comes to that. I definitely do that far too often.
I think what Zabe says here is a very, like, we need to put like the meta glasses on you, and just watch Derek go to work, schmoozing up GMs, walking into the hotel lobby and seeing Mike Hazen being like, "Hey, should I grab you a beer?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
okay, like I tend to set trends when I come to a bar, believe it or not. Like, I'll come to a bar and order something that nobody at the bar is currently drinking. I'll step up and I'll be like, "Good day, my good sir. Would you get me an espresso martini?" And before you know it, every single person at the winter meetings is drinking an espresso martini.
What's that?
Everybody. It smells great. It looks great. You look fancy drinking it. Let's go. I want one of those.
The way that you're describing it and the way that it's been described in the past, it strikes me as a very like NFL Combine-esque type of vibe where people are in a confined space.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of famous people in their respective sports, and you're just kind of schmoozing and mingling around with everybody. And can I just say, Derek, I kind of live for it.
Yeah,
like that. I didn't know that was my scene until I showed up, and then now I'm like, I'm just like walking up to different media members in the bar, being like, "What's going on?" And it turns out it is exactly my scene.
What up, passing? That kind of thing.
See, I think if me and you went, we would have an electric.
We would have a great time. We definitely would have a great time, and I feel like some people did have a great time. The late night meetings at the bar would have been electric, that's for sure. But some work did get done at the winter meetings. In fact, it's kind of surprising because even though baseball moves as slowly as it does, you could argue that 3 of the biggest free agents that were available all kind of got signed over the last few days, with Schwarber staying with the Phillies, Pete Alonso to the Orioles. And I mean, of course, you have Edwin Diaz to the Dodgers happening earlier. It's funny because the winter meetings, I've seen a lot of people saying like things got kicked off with the Michael Soroka deal. And it was like, well, they certainly escalated after the Michael Soroka deal. I don't know if they got kicked off by Michael Soroka and Steven Matz being moved.
We did this. We made this. You see all of this? This was not here before us, before we signed Michael Soroka to a 1-year, $7.5 million deal.
Well, the craziest thing is the one market that still isn't moving, Damon, is the starting pitching market.
At all.
It's not moving at all. Like we felt like when we saw the Dylan Cease deal get done so early, we were like, sign me up. This is going to be, fireworks. And, now the winter meetings have come and gone and no real big deals for any team as far as starting pitching is concerned, really, or like, again, the free agent market really hasn't gotten moving, but we have this enormous rumor out there per Jorge Castillo at ESPN, a Tarek Skubal trade is likely. That is his takeaway from the winter meetings. He said, here's what we know. Detroit Tigers president of baseball operations, Scott Harris, can shut down speculation by simply saying he is not trading Skubal, and he has not done that. Instead, he noted this week that there aren't any untouchables on his roster. Trading the best pitcher in baseball when you're trying to compete would upset the fan base, but the Tigers, knowing re-signing Skubal next winter is unlikely, appear open to it.
Yeah.
And the team that they appear to be open to trading Skubal to is the Los Angeles Dodgers, apparently, according to
everyone
rumors.
Was shocked. No one could believe it.
It's just so ridiculous, right? And
at that point, kill the sport. At that point, I'm done.
Because they're the only team that could legitimately, like, they don't even need to do that. They could just wait for this season to come and go, and then they could just sign Skubal as a free agent next offseason, which they are one of the few teams that are going to have the money to offer him what is likely the biggest, pitching contract in history potentially. But it kind of makes me sick. Like, the trade package isn't even like, it's Emmett Sheehan, it's Zahir Hope, it's Patrick Copen, it's Alex Freeland, it's James Tibbs. Like, they don't even have to give anything up. It's crazy. It's crazy, Damon.
It's maybe, and Dodgers fans would be like, we're not the only team that could sign him. We're just the only team that wants to. But that's also a problem. And the fact that every single big star that is up for grabs, whether it's via trade, via free agency, every one of them, the Dodgers are at the front of the line, despite having an all-star team top to bottom already. And the fact that they can add all of these salaries, they can go to Skubal and say, yeah, we'll just get rid of Glass now. We'll get rid of Glass now. We'll get that contract off our books. And then we'll bring in Skubal for twice as much money, and it'll be perfectly fine. And you're like, how can you do that? If the Diamondbacks signed Tyler Glass now, and he was, like he always has been, made of glass, we would never be able to get rid of him. We'd be stuck with them forever.
Yeah.
And he'd be debilitating the roster. And meanwhile, the Dodgers just go like, whatever. I guess we'll just have to get Tariq Skubal instead.
And he wasn't even bad.
No, he wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad.
But apparently they're trying to get rid of him now. He's not good enough for them.
I heard that about Teoscar Hernandez as well.
That is true. He is also on that exact same.
It's just,
yeah.
I guess your job at the end of the day as a GM is to improve your team. Your job as a president of baseball operations is to improve your team. You at no point want to sit back and I think at any point, no matter how many championships your franchise has won, say, let's let somebody else win it this year, right? Like, that's not your job. And so as much as I scream about the Dodgers on this show and hate them, and Damon takes that hate to a whole new level, they're just doing what they do, right? They're doing what a team should do. And I think when you get past the point of, okay, we won a championship, the next step, as I said earlier, is how do we create a dynasty? How do we make this team historically relevant and the team of this era? And they're already the team of this era. It's hard to argue any other team would be brought up around this period of time in the mid-2020s to be the team of MLB other than the Dodgers, right? But what I will say is that there's other teams out there, Damon, that are getting sneaky good. Baltimore Orioles, I think, it was kind of sneaky good, but the Pete Alonso thing makes it much more high profile. But I think the Orioles are getting much better. And now we have Mike Yastrzemski going to the Atlanta Braves. And the Atlanta Braves already picked up Robert Suarez, who isn't even going to be their closer. And now they agree to a $23 million 2-year contract that includes a club option for 2028 with Mike Yastrzemski. And again, I do not hate, Damon, these guys leaving this division. I don't hate Robert Suarez and Yastrzemski getting the hell out of here and going to another team. No. I mean, he wasn't great last year. He hit .233 with 17 home runs and 46 RBIs. And I know he was already out of the division with the Kansas City move. But again, he spent 6 seasons with the Giants before being traded to the Royals. And I'm just glad that he is, once again, the hell out of here. I do not like, though, how much better the Braves, I feel, are getting. And I think that
they're back.
They're back.
The Braves are well and truly back, Derek. I have been last season. I thought the Braves were going to be back. I think we were just a year too early.
Yeah.
Matt Olson didn't have a great year. Yeah. Like it was it wasn't really written in the cards. Acuna was coming back from injury, I believe, and he did play most of last season. But
I wouldn't be surprised to see them make a big pitching move.
Didn't Strider he was hurt all year last year, right? He had the Tommy John surgery, so he should hypothetically be back this next season. The Braves are going to be pretty damn good again. And that division also feels like quite the gauntlet right now when you factor in the Mets. I know they haven't made a lot of moves and they've been the joke of the offseason
thus far. But they're going to make moves.
They'll get people in the door, I bet. And they have a decent core in place as is. Then you factor in the Phillies. They're not skipping a beat. The Phillies are gonna keep going for it. And, they bring back Schwarber. And then you look at the Braves and all the talent that they have. Plus, the Marlins aren't really a disaster right now either. Like it's a pretty solid division, top to bottom, and it might even be more difficult than our division as things currently stand.
You like that move for Christopher Morel by the Marlins there, right? I mean,
that's just a guy that's the type of move that we've been talking about, Derek, and I think Soroka actually lines up along this similar type of trajectory where the only major difference with Soroka being is that he's a pitcher and we've proven that we can't develop those, whereas a hitter is a lot easier for us to shape and mold into a really good player. It seems in Arizona with Joe Mather and the hitting development that this team has, but I wanted a guy like a Christopher Morel who has a lot of upside. Maybe hasn't shown like his best hand as an MLB player yet, but you get him in the right system with the right teammates around him and the right lineup around him, and maybe that looks a lot better. The Marlins make kind of a buy low move. Here's the difference, though, Derek, I didn't know this. The Marlins are supposed to be moving him to first base, I guess. They're going to be having him play first base, not outfield. So I was thinking of him as more of an outfielder. Yeah. He had a bad defensive season. If you look at his baseball savant page, he has a good arm, but really not a very, very good outfielder in general. So maybe that's part of the reason for the Diamondbacks is they genuinely probably do want a right-handed hitting outfielder, but not one that can't play defense.
I don't love what the Mets are doing at all when you look at the move the Mets have made. I didn't love the Brandon Nimmo trade for Marcus Semien. I do understand.
I thought we liked that from the Mets' perspective.
I mean, yeah, but like, again, it's just such a weird trade to me because of Semien's numbers from last year and things like that. I think we liked it from the perspective that you don't really feel like the Dodgers need more bang for their buck. They need some leadership. They need a winner, a proven winner that has experience being there and, winning a World Series to come in and that hurt to say, and come in and help your clubhouse have that culture, right? To improve that culture. I just don't know, again, so far their only move is adding Devin Williams on a pretty big contract and losing, 2 of their biggest stars. So I mean, I don't love what they're doing. Another move I don't love, this is a small move that probably doesn't even deserve to be discussed, but I'm going to discuss it anyway. The Athletics finally made an offseason move this free agent season. They signed veteran right-hander Mark Leiter Jr. on a 1-year contract on Thursday.
Yeah.
I talked about Leiter at one point as a potential low-dollar addition to the bullpen for this Diamondbacks team. He does come off a bad season. And this contract he signed, according to ESPN's Jesse Rogers, is worth about $3 million. The deal is pending a physical and hasn't been confirmed by the Athletics yet. But I feel like this is the dumbest signing of the offseason. I understand from the Athletics perspective that they just need to find people to bring in. And Mark Leiter Jr. didn't have a great season, so I get it from the perspective of someone that's coming off a season with a 4.84 ERA as a reliever for the New York Yankees. It's probably not getting a ton of deals. But Leiter Jr. is going to be 35 years old next year. And
young.
35 years young next year. And I believe, Damon, that this is like a really dumb signing for him. Like, you're going to go play for the Athletics in that minor league ballpark in Sacramento where a flick of the wrist will really get you a home run. And you're going to do it on a 1-year deal, expecting what? What are you expecting, Mark Leiter Jr.? What's your end game here? Tell me, because I want to know. You think your numbers are going to go down with the Athletics? You think that team's going to be more competitive?
Grabbing him by the collar of his shirt.
I need to know what your thought process is in agreeing to this deal. He had a 4.98 ERA last year, 4.84 this year. I mean, he was good with the Cubs, posted sub-4. And again, he's just one of those, the exact thing I was talking about. I don't know if I'm just mad that the Diamondbacks didn't sign him. I don't know if it's just more confusion on my part. He didn't put up good numbers. And again, this is the kind of guy I thought that they could get on a deal about $2 or $3 million. So this makes sense if he was going to a team where he could kind of prove himself a bit and maybe improve his stats and then come off of that season for perhaps another short-term deal. But regardless, come off of one season. Mark my words. We're going to readdress this on December 12th, 2026.
Pun intended?
Huh?
Mark my words, pun intended?
Yeah, mark my words, Mark. You're goddamn right. We're going to address this in a year when we come back and look at what your ERA ballooned to and see if someone's signing you to the new contract.
Honestly, it's a good point. I think that
what
kind of
pitcher
stuff
voluntarily goes to the A's right now? Right now. Not in 2028 when they have that new stadium that they just broke ground on. Like, that thing is shaping up. I don't know why people think they're not going to go play in Las Vegas. That is still like this weird rumor that this project is going to get shut down. But the video I saw yesterday, Damon, there's a clubhouse. They brought the Athletics to Las Vegas to come check out where the clubhouse is going to eventually be. Like, they are moving along on this. And I think, believe it or not, despite what the internet keeps telling me, there is in fact going to be a ballpark in Las Vegas right across from some of those low budget hotels.
And no one is more hyped up about it than Derek Montilla. Because that's a trip to Vegas to go cover the Dbacks. I mean, you're Mr. Vegas.
It's already scheduled. Again, Espo has put together a fairly significant. I don't want to call it a bailout fund. I feel like that kind of labels me and you in a bad light. We'll just say a discretionary fund. Should certain emergency situations come
Emergency fund.
Yeah,
right? That's a good way of putting it.
An emergency fund should any emergencies happen, like you and I go to jail.
In a Mexican prison.
Or in Las Vegas. I mean, that's really hard to go to jail in Las Vegas. But
it is.
I think, I don't know.
It's really hard.
I just don't know why someone would choose to go play for the Athletics voluntarily now, during this period of time. Like, then, things might be pretty sweet. And that organization might have something fun to be a part of at that time. I don't feel like, especially as a pitcher that struggled in 2025, that this is a smart move or why anybody would choose to do this.
I think it's a good point, Derek, just in all of sports contracts. Like, I feel like, and it's similar with how we talk about, like, with Dodgers fans and how they don't understand that what is happening right now, while it might be good for them, is super short-sighted for the overall health of the game of baseball. Like, baseball will cease being popular if the Dodgers just continue to make a monopoly on the sport with all-stars, right? And so
that's what we feel, at least. That's what we hope.
Well, I mean, eventually. Like, it's a slow effect, but it will happen eventually. I think the same thing with these contracts. Find yourself a situation that's going to get you paid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you're like maybe like an NFL wide receiver is like a good example, right? Where it's like you have yourself, you're playing for a Hall of Fame quarterback and you're putting up stats as a wide receiver, but you want more money, right? And you're like, I need more money. And so you demand more money, and eventually they get rid of you. You go to a new team with a worse quarterback, your stats look worse, and then your contract is lower because your stats are worse. I think that, there is something to be said about, like, Mark Leiter What if he took $1 million less and came and played for the Diamondbacks?
What if?
What if he has a good season then? Now his next contract is way bigger than the contract he's going to get after the A's. I think that guys are too about the short term with the money when it gets put in front of their face, rather than thinking about what is my best long term avenue to making the most money I can make in my entire career. And maybe this is that type of situation playing out right now.
I mean, even the Rays though are going back to playing in their actual home stadium next year, right? And I just mean it. I literally mean it from the perspective of. Are
they still doing the half and half thing? Is that still a plan?
No, I don't believe so. What are you talking about? Half and half?
Montreal and Tampa Bay?
No, that was rumored a long time ago, but I don't think that's the case. But as far as the Sacramento athletic situation, it's just a matter of.
I just never know what's happening with relocation in baseball. They feel like they make it the most convoluted thing of all time. Meanwhile, the NFL's we're moving to Vegas, and they make a huge deal out of it, and they host the Super Bowl there. And then the baseball's we're moving to Montreal for half the season, or are we?
Or are we?
And
not?
You're and then you're what's happening? And then they're there was a hurricane. Now we might actually go.
Yeah,
but maybe not.
But instead we didn't, even though that would have been an ideal situation.
Yeah.
We're going to go play in a minor league ballpark.
Yes.
Same thing with Sacramento. Go use that ballpark. Go use a ballpark. Go use a real ballpark. Stop playing in a freaking minor league ballpark with a grassy, hills and something that looks like a spring training facility. I hate it. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of this break, we're going to talk about something else I hate. And that is yet another Ketel Marte trade. Is a trade with the Reds, essentially for Hunter Greene, the only trade that makes sense this offseason? We think so. We're going to talk about it on the other side of this break. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Well, Branded Bills is taking over the hat game. I see Branded Bills hats everywhere I go, including our shop, where you'll get some great Branded Bills merch. But if you want your brand to stand apart from the crowd, you look no further than Branded Bills. They have you covered with the best custom headwear that you can find, and their craftsmanship on your logos will blow you away. So make sure to contact one of their dedicated specialists who will get your order started immediately. And if you are just a hat aficionado, you can check out their full assortment of hats. They have partnerships with 40 universities, including ASU and U of A. They also have a partnership with Phoenix Suns, who might have gotten bounced from the tournament, but are still having a great season. So they're a local company from right here in Mesa, Arizona. Check out their entire line at their website. And right now, if you head over there, you can head to brandedbills.com and use our code of BBPHNX for 15% off your first order. Do so right now. And I can't tell you how many times the fine folks at Shady Rays have heard from me, and that's because I am a dummy when it comes to my sunglasses. I leave them everywhere. In fact, right now, I refuse to call them about a certain pair that I'm missing because I know I'm going to find it once I put in that request. But regardless of how many times I have fumbled the ball on my sunglasses, Shady Rays does not let me down. They have you and me covered with the best lost and broken replacement plan in all of eyewear. And not to mention the fact that their replacement plan on these sunglasses are for some very durable frames that I have not broken. I just merely lose all the time. And of course, you can check out their full line. They'll make your face look beautiful. They'll protect your eyes. They have some crystal clear optics on their polarized lenses. Plus, they have their color rush lenses, which add another level of beauty to this world that we live in. So check out their full line over there at shadyrays.com. We've teamed up with Shady Rays to bring you an exclusive offer. Head to shadyrays.com and use our code of PHNX for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Of course, our guy Bees is here. We love when Bees shows up, and Bees is asking the real questions around here, Damon, as he does whenever he's here. Bees says, pretty crazy that we're even at the point of discussing Ketel Marte trades. And then he goes on to ask, how did we get here? Cool Bro appropriately says the media. And as much as I scream about Ketel Marte trades and the rumors, here we are adding fuel to the fire ourselves. So well, I guess
Derek,
we're not immune to it.
This is the verbal meme of Garfield sitting on the news desk with the picture behind him saying cancel Garfield. This is Derek right now is saying, and the damned media, the godforsaken media.
This goddamn media, I'm telling you. No, I think that, of course, there's something to be said about what the Tarik Skubal, what Jorge Castillo from ESPN said about the Tarik Skubal trade. He said, on the thing I read earlier, Detroit Tigers president of baseball operations, Scott Harris, can shut down speculation by simply saying he is not trading Skubal, and he has not done that. You could argue that Mike Hazen could do the exact same thing, right? You could argue that. You could argue in a way that Mike Hazen, who has, I feel like, has been very honest, upfront, and hasn't really added to the speculation. Again, the last time we heard from Mike Hazen on this show, he told Mike Farron that this is no different than any other year that they get calls on Ketel Marte. And he even he doesn't even know the reason why this is becoming such a big story. So again, I guess really if you're talking, Bees, about how did we get here, we got here because some common sense contract things with Ketel Marte being a 5 and 10 player, meaning he's been in the league for 10 years and he's been with the same team for 5. He has a no trade clause, and that hasn't enacted yet, but it will enact in April. So there's that. And I think it's also the situation Ketel Marte went through with coming under scrutiny, right? The way that it has been framed is that the Diamondbacks feel that now is the time to quote unquote cut ties with Ketel Marte. Yet there was no source to that, and there's been no confirmation in any way, shape, or form from anybody in the organization. And that's where we're at, right? Again, the reason why Ketel Marte is the subject of trade speculation is because he's one of the best players in baseball, and he's on a very team-friendly contract with a team that has a lot of needs and not a lot of money to spend. I think that probably sums it up the best. This whole situation the entire time has felt logical, or like an assumption, like a logical assumption based on the facts of his contract and other things, but none of it really feels like it's ever been fueled in any way by anybody saying they spoke to an inside source in the Diamondbacks organization, or that Mike Hazen said this, or that Torey Lovullo said this, or that Ken Kendrick said this. So really what it comes down to is it does feel like a lot of the speculation about Ketel Marte trade is from media, from opposing fan bases who, once they heard that the Diamondbacks might be interested, they started pushing for Ketel and making trade, I guess, trade packages and things that maybe the Diamondbacks would be enticed by. I feel like overall, Mike Hazen, once again, has been very honest, but you could agree with the thing that Jorge Castillo said. The one thing Mike Hazen hasn't done at any point is said, we are not trading Tarik Skubal. Instead, he's gone on record at times in the past saying that he's received calls, not just on Ketel Marte, but other names that you don't want me to say right now, right? Like you don't want to hear out of Mike Hazen's mouth that he's received calls on Geraldo Perdomo and Corbin Carroll. Those are not things that any fan wants to hear. But again, Mike Hazen, who typically plays his cards pretty close to his vest when it comes to deals he's trying to make and things that he's trying to do, in case those things don't work out, has been pretty open about this situation. And perhaps his honesty and openness adds to these rumors. Because again, he never shuts them down, but he also says, hey, we're listening, but like good luck coming up with something that's actually going to entice this team on a trade. Our guy Jack Summers over at Snakes Territory basically put together an idea for a trade package, and I think that kind of progressed into actually kind of being one of the trade rumors. And honestly, if you look at the trade package that we're going to discuss today, it's probably the only one that makes you feel like you're getting an efficient return for Ketel Marte. But at the end of the day, it's not really going to feel like any trade for Ketel Marte is going to be an efficient return, or sufficient is what I should say, not efficient.
This is a professional podcast.
I apologize.
We do, in fact, speak for a living and also struggle at that as well.
Yeah, I mean, words are hard. And again, English is my second language, and I'm not even good at my first language. So if you attack my English, it's a hate crime, just a reminder. But This trade that has been floated out there involves this move with the Cincinnati Reds. The Arizona Diamondbacks would essentially trade Ketel Marte to the Reds. The Diamondbacks would receive in return starting pitcher Hunter Greene and second baseman Matt McLain. This trade immediately solves one of the Diamondbacks' biggest needs, which is an ace at the top of their staff, and replaces Ketel Marte with Matt McLain. Now, the Diamondbacks do not need to receive a second baseman or an infielder in return for Marte, because I do think that they have pieces in their organization, players right now on their roster that could play second base should Marte be traded and that unfortunate thing come to fruition. But this right here, I mean, and again, we could get crazy. We could be like, yeah, we're going to do a Tarek Skubal trade, and he's also going to sign a contract extension, and the Tigers are going to eat half of that contract extension. But all of that is fantasy, and none of that's actually going to happen. This is a trade that financially makes sense overall. And as far as the players, it's a high-impact swap. It's earth-shattering. It would be one of those big trades that, rocked the MLB. But, I mean, the Diamondbacks trading one of their star position players for a combination of elite pitching and versatile young infielder does not feel like it's the worst thing that they could do. It feels like out of all the trade packages that websites and podcasts are drumming up, all have this dream of sending some prospects the Diamondbacks' way, like that's going to be enough to trade for Ketel Marte. And that's just not happening, period. An unproven prospect is exactly that. And quite frankly, I knew the guy that at one time did the MLB pipeline thing. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but I found out he was just the man. He was just a human being that puts together the MLB pipeline list. And even though a lot of work goes into it and a lot of factors and a lot of scouts and a lot of information is exchanged, at the end of the day, it's still like a combination of factors that equal points, and whoever has the most points is the highest ranked prospect. None of it is real, and it's still something that's determined by a human man, a fallible man. There is the proven results of players in Major League Baseball, and what the Diamondbacks need is proven results. They can't trade Ketel Marte on any kind of risk. The Ketel Marte trade could be one of the things that helps this organization get back on track, or it could be the final nail in the coffin for everybody involved in any kind of trade like this, should it not go the Diamondbacks' way.
I'll put it simpler, Derek. It can't be the Paul Goldschmidt trade.
It can't be the Paul Goldschmidt trade.
It can't be, hey, Carson Kelly.
Well, he's not on an expiring contract. Goldschmidt was.
Exactly.
There's a big difference in those kind of situations.
You're right. It's a huge difference there. But even then, we were trading away an MVP caliber player. We all knew it.
Yeah.
And you were bringing in Luke Weaver, who you were projecting to be decent in Major League Baseball and was not for this organization. He has since carved out a role for himself.
Sure.
But as a starter, bad. Carson Kelly, who had struggled at that point in the majors, but had a big prospect ranking, as you said, Derek, and was considered to supposed to figure it out. And it took him 4 more stops along the way until he figured it out this year for the Cubs. But not for this organization. And then Andy Young, who was a utility player for 2 years. Yeah. Like, that's what you can't have. You can't be bringing in 3 minor leaguers who you think are going to be better than what they've shown thus far, or are projected to be good. You need a legit future all-star caliber player, and Hunter Greene provides that, and Matt McLain provides, just a above average replacement at that position. I think as far as the trade package goes, this is like one of me. I think the Red Sox and the Reds are the 2 teams that I'm even like engaging in discussions with, because they have things that I covet and want.
Yeah.
And this is one of the very few packages that can be put together that I would like go to bed at night and be like, man, I can't believe we traded Ketel, but it's going to be okay.
Yeah, the Red Sox trade would involve Duran. It would involve also Peyton Toll, who I love.
I mean, the stash.
I've gone on record as saying I stole his look. I don't even say inspired by, like most people would be, I'm inspired by Peyton Toll's old look. No. I tried to look like the man.
We need the content there for you to like talk to him in the locker room for the first time, twice his age, and be like, hey, I got my mustache from you.
Yeah.
And he'd be like,
he'd be like, that's weird.
What
He's like, that's weird.
What?
I don't want to have to deal with this guy for a whole season. Does he have a full season press credential? Oh my God.
Can we get that guy?
We need this guy in my face.
At my locker, please.
No trade, again, is going to make you feel great. Like you said, no trade is going to help you sleep at night. But you feel like Hunter Greene is a stud.
Yeah.
And
also locked up long term, Derek. I put in there that he's making $8 million next year, which is pretty reasonable, obviously, for a pitcher of his caliber. Matt McLain, I put the asterisk right next to his because that is a projection. I believe he is in his last year of pre-arbitration. So that $2.6 million is a projection. He then has 3 years of arbitration after that of control. So seems like you'd have Matt McLain under control for a minute here. But Hunter Greene's contract is $8.3 million this year at his age 26 season, $15.3 million next year at 27, $16.3 after that at 28, and then a club option for $21 million at the age of 29 before he reaches restricted or unrestricted free agency at the age of 30, similar to like a Zach Gallen. It's actually like pretty along the same lines as Zach Gallen reached his final year and reached free agency at age 30 as well. So maybe you get 4 years of Hunter Greene here at a reasonable rate for a really high caliber pitcher, and then you get 3 years or 4 years of Matt McLain as well at a decent rate. And
that's the return. That's the return that we need. We can't do this for 2 years. Can't do this for 1 year. I know Ketel is under contract for 6 more years, right? So
through his age 37 season in 2031. When he's on schedule that year to actually it's backloaded. It is a player option though, so a good chance he declines it if he's still playing well.
Sure.
But it's backloaded to where it's front loaded to where it's $11.5 million for his last year of his contract. Yeah. It is, however, 20, 22, and $22 million from his age 34 to 36 season. So you would be all in all like maybe adding a bit of salary with Hunter Greene in total.
It's fine.
But it would be so minimal, and he's obviously he's in like a 8-year age bracket younger than Ketel Marte. Yeah. I think it makes sense, and it's one of the only trades that could be put together where I'm like, all right, it is what it is.
The Red Sox trade I like, but I still don't love. This trade I don't love because I don't love any trade for Ketel Marte. Ketel Marte is a generational talent. Ketel Marte became the player he became here. And I said it yesterday, and I will probably stand on my soapbox a lot about this. But as much as we have said, because of Ketel Marte taking 2 extra days in the Dominican Republic, he's a bad teammate, nobody is talking enough about the team-friendly contract extensions that he signed. Even the second one, Damon, even though he, like you said, they were giving him more money because he deserved it. They were extending him, though, a longer period of time. But they were trying to put his salary up to market value and pay him in a way which he deserves. Not many teams have to do that, and I think that's the reason why he signed it, but it's also still a very team-friendly contract. The team-friendly contract nature of it is what makes him so appealing to all of these trade rumors. But shouldn't that be the exact same reason why it makes him untradeable? Like, shouldn't that be the reason why Ketel Marte should play here until his age 37 season? Because he did all of this? Ernesto says it right there. We needed to fill holes is not a good reason. And just because, this guy's going to get that's not why you sign players to a long-term deal.
It's like we've talked about. The Dodgers look at a guy like Ketel Marte and they say, how can we add to having this stud on our team?
Right.
How can we get Hunter Greene with Ketel Marte? Right. Whereas the Dbacks are like, how can we trade our best player and get 3 really good players in the process?
Right.
And that's the difference between the premier organizations that are in the highest market that spend the most money and then teams like the Diamondbacks. Yeah.
I think Bees said it earlier, but he expects Ketel to be traded. I will go on record and say I do not. I do not expect Ketel to be traded. And I think that, of course, one of the big problems is the free agent pitching market right now, starting pitching market for free agents. I think it's going to get very high. And I think, the Diamondbacks really can't even begin to consider trading Ketel Marte until they figured out what some of these starting pitchers are going for. They're most likely not going to be in on a Ranger Suarez, even though you and I very much like Ranger Suarez. They're definitely not in on a Framber Valdez.
What are we spending our money on exactly is what I'm wondering. Because I'm sitting here and I'm like, can we maybe we could get Ranger Suarez?
No, don't do that. Don't do that to me. You know that. I try to be reasonable. I try to be sensible. I try to have a little bit of Jesse, like the spirit of Jesse here, where I need to be sensible. But I'm not sensible. I'm emotional. I lose it. And I'd lose it if Ketel got traded. And I do think that they have more money to spend. I think they could get a Ranger Suarez. The idea of spending and not spending is merely a decision, right? It's merely a decision. And we never thought they would get Jordan Montgomery, and we never thought they would get Corbin Burns, right? So who knows what the Diamondbacks could do. But I agree with you. The move is to not trade Ketel and get worse at second for the starting pitching to get better. However, if there is one thing I'm going to sacrifice Ketel Marte being a Diamondback for, it is elite starting pitching. And as far as offers, trades, ideas that I've seen, nothing involves elite starting pitching, not even that trade from the Red Sox. It's still too many unproven factors there. But this deal, it does. I think it does give me enough for me to be okay with it. I still hate it.
Said Mariners fans are also talking about trading Gilbert or Miller potentially. So that's another package that could involve an elite starting pitcher.
I know. Well,
and Mike Hazen and the Mariners are just, I mean,
they got each other on speed dial.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
But I understand what Colbert is saying. That's why this package makes sense to me, because Matt McLain is a pretty good second baseman.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a great year last year, but he's had good years in the past, and he's a player that the Diamondbacks are interested in. I mean, we know that for a fact. They drafted him, Derek. They drafted him with a first round pick. Mike Hazen drafted him with a first round pick. Another small position player that he fell in love with, and then Matt McLain decided to go play ball at UCLA instead. Yeah. And so we know that the Diamondbacks in the past have been interested in a guy like Matt McLain. That's why it makes even more sense. You're just to connect the dots there, but. That's like, there's a reason for replacing Ketel's production with a decent second baseman and getting an elite starting pitcher are like on my list of like the things that I want to see get checked off if I'm trading potentially one of the best contracts in the entire sport with one of the best players in the entire sport. Like it's got to be a haul, as some of the people in our chat have said.
I would venture to say I could see why the Reds would not do this. Right?
For sure, like, yeah. You know I think Reds fans might be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, right.
Hunter Greene?
Right. But if you don't think it's real, if you go to Baseball Savant right now, Ketel Marte is the 6th highest searched player on Baseball Savant. Behind, it goes Shohei Ohtani, Edwin Diaz, Pete Alonso, Robert Suarez. All guys, like Shohei, of course, at the top. Then guys that have all been moved to new teams. Then Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and then Ketel Marte.
Derek.
Yeah.
They're looking freaking stings.
They're looking for him, Damon.
Dude, a Diamondbacks player is being there is always bad news.
That's never good news. That's never good news. Too many people are searching his stats and wanting to see how much red is on that page. But we're going to play a fun game on the other side of this break. Damon's going to try to stump me, and it's probably not going to be too hard, with another round of Are You a Baseball Savant? Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, you know it's the season for over $80 million in prizes over at Arizona Lottery. There is a lot of money on the line, including what's going on with the jackpots right now. But the best thing you can get at this time of the year is their holiday scratchers. You know you forgot someone in your life to buy a gift this holiday season. So, of course, just go pick up some holiday scratchers right now. You can get them at Circle K or anywhere you get your scratchers. And, of course, just have them on hand. Get them on hand. Get them ready for people you might have forgotten. And then, of course, if you don't have anybody to give those to, those wonderful scratchers can become yours. And they could get you a small bounty there, up to $250,000 in prizes on some of those scratcher tickets. And they have 6 festive holiday scratchers to choose from right now, including Cash Countdown, which has those prizes up to $250,000, as well as Candy Cane Cash, which smells delightfully like peppermint. So do not miss out on getting these for a white elephant party, for stocking stuffers, for any occasion right now. Love the play and spread holiday cheer with holiday scratchers from Arizona Lottery. Play and gift today. Must be 21 or over to play. And Desert Financial Credit Union, if you're an Arizona sports fan, you know there's no better place to do your banking than Desert Financial Credit Union. It's the only place to show off your team spirit every time you use your debit card with branded cards featuring some of your favorite teams, including the Arizona Cardinals, Arizona State University, and Northern Arizona University. For more than 84 years, Desert Financial has been Arizona's largest, most trusted local credit union, dedicated to creating exceptional experiences by giving back to the community and providing financial solutions that help make lives better. I have been in this valley for a very long time, and they have been the first and only financial credit union that I remember banking with, and I'm so thankful I did. They got me started on my home ownership journey, and hopefully they can get you started on whatever financial goal you are trying to reach. Right now, you can look to them for checking and savings accounts, mortgages, credit cards, investment options, and so much more. When you open a free checking account online, you can get $200 in bonuses. Get started by visiting desertfinancial.com/200. Well, there's a lot of things I don't love right now, but I do love playing some games, especially around the holiday season. And as you may have seen in the past, we came up with this little fun game where Damon pulls a couple of Baseball Savant pages at random, throws them up there on the screen, and sees if I can find a way to figure out who the hell he is showing.
Not really at random. I did theme them up.
We got the Diamondbacks players last time. That was fun. I think I did exceptionally well, at least I feel like in my own opinion. So it's time once again to see if I am in fact a baseball savant. What do we got, Damon?
What do we got here? I'm just checking and making sure that we're going to do this in the right proper order here. And let's start off with this one.
All right. These are not great numbers. There's a lot of blue on this page. It's a pitcher. It looks like his fastball run value is the only thing of value besides his extension.
And by the way, we do have it predetermined beforehand. These are all free agents. These are
free agent pitchers.
These are all free agents that the Diamondbacks could potentially be interested in.
Okay. So. Can I start off with asking, is this a top 10 free agent starting pitcher?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Most likely, yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. What was his expected ERA was 5. Oh, wow. Let's see here. His fastball velo, 93.3 miles per hour. This is kind of gross, Damon. This is not a good Baseball Savant page.
No, it's not, Derek. And honestly, I looked this up and I immediately was like, I'm out on this guy. I don't want him in a Diamondbacks uniform. We have spoken about this player before, Derek, in a few times now, because he's come up in different conversations, whether it be the trade deadline, whether it be, the different free agency periods over the last few years. And we've talked about this pitcher quite a bit, and he's always seemingly of interest to this organization as like maybe a mid to back end rotation option. Turns out he kind of sucks.
This has to be Lucas Giolito then.
It is, in fact, Lucas Giolito.
Yeah! I'm like, wait, that description gave it entirely away.
Here we go.
This is his Baseball Savant page? Oh, my God.
I had to play the applause for you because you got it right. This is his Baseball Savant
page. Didn't he have like a freaking sub-3? He had like a 3.25 ERA or 3 something, right? Like,
isn't this bad?
This is so bad. Hold on.
He had a 3.41.
He had a 3.41.
And he was 10-4.
Oh, my God. Piece of Yoshi
bad.
Says this is the guy we wanted to trade for in 2023.
Yeah, that's a bad Baseball Savant page there.
Wow, when your only thing of value is extension and your fastball run value. Oh my God, his expected ERA was 5? No, hard pass. We'll keep it moving. We'll keep it moving on that guy.
Let's go
ahead and kill the Lucas Giolito rumor.
Like I said, I saw that and I was like, I think I'm out on Lucas Giolito. Yeah. That's horrible. You're going to have to pay him like a 3-year, $60 million contract for those numbers.
That's wild. That's wild. Okay.
All right, next one.
All right, what else we got? All right, we got another pitcher?
Yes.
Expected ERA 4.28. This is Zach Gallen.
It is Zach Gallen.
Oh my God. I had no idea his baseball savant page for 2025 was this bad.
Yeah.
His off-speed run value is the only thing in red? What? What? That's crazy. Oh my God. Yeah, no.
That's a bad baseball savant page.
I'm sorry,
well.
Zach. Look, I love Zach Gallen. It's my daughter's favorite player on the team. I don't have a bad thing to say about Zach. He has been a delightful player to cover. However, if he's going to go get paid a big contract by another team on a multi-year deal, sorry. Yeah,
you compare to
Zach.
his 2023, and it's just kind of sad to look at.
Yeah, I don't even want to.
I'm gonna do it anyways.
You're gonna do it anyways.
I'm gonna pull it up anyways. I don't care what you want.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't. You often don't care what I want, but I mean,
I want it. I want to show everybody else what I had to look at. What I had to endure and envision and see myself, Derek, with my own eyes.
Damon, that's really bad. And I know he had a bad season, and I know it was mostly the first half of the season, but let's not forget he had some killer starts in the first half as well. I know his first half was bad and very inconsistent, but let's not forget some of those games where we kind of laughed that it was big game Zach Gallen showing up in New York and other places, but just not the rest of the time. Piece of Yoshi still blames Kaplan, and I mean, I don't know. There's something to be said about what all the positive things we heard about James McCann at the end of the season as well. And I don't know what kind of impact that had on Zach turning things around, but
maybe this is like what other teams are looking at, and it leads to Zach Gallen taking like kind of a discounted deal with the Diamondbacks. Who knows? Maybe that's a little bit of wishful thinking, but it's like maybe they're also being like, these expected stats are terrible.
Yeah.
But look at this page. This is his page right now, Derek. You got 24 pitching run value. Everything is essentially in the blue except for chase rate, except for ground ball rate, and except for extension rate. Everything else is and walk rate. Everything
his
else is
fastball
bad.
run value being in the 30th percentile is atrocious. Like, I almost can't believe that.
Now, this is what his 2023 baseball savant page looks like.
Oh my God! Wow.
Isn't that sad?
Wow.
Doesn't that just make you sad? He was so special, man.
But
he was special. Vince McMahon video now.
Do you expect him to get back to this with another team? Do you expect him to? I don't know. It would
be the most Diamondbacks thing of all time, frankly.
It really would. Oh God.
Yeah, all that one's sad. Next, let's look at our next one here.
All right. Ooh, I like all of this. Is this Ranger Suarez?
It is Ranger Suarez.
I've been staring at these guys' baseball savant pages entirely too much, Damon. I was coming in here thinking there was no way I was going to get any of these. Oh.
3 for 3 right now. I mean, one of them I gave you heavy.
Yeah, no, the one I definitely needed. The guy would have never guessed Lucas Giolito in a million years. Honestly, I would have never guessed that. I looked at this,
Derek, and I said, oh my God, pay Ranger Suarez whatever Ranger Suarez wants.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering he gave me his expected ERA at 3.16. You know what 3.16 means. Austin 3.16 means I just whooped your ass. Oh, yeah, no, there is so much red on this page. Like, again,
his fastball velo is really low.
That's surprisingly, yeah. But again, I mean, I would prefer a pitcher that knows how to get outs without needing that power, right? Power is something that can wane on you. Power is something that can cause you perhaps to have an injury. I don't love the fastball velo being that low, but like
it's like Steph Curry. Like, it's like a dude like that is going to be able to shoot the basketball forever. He's not going to lose athleticism and be bad at basketball all of a sudden.
Right.
I hear you there. Like his arm might not be the strongest, but he's very effective with it.
I mean, when your hard hit percentile or your hard hit percentage is in the 98th percentile, your walk rate's that high, your freaking barrel percentage is that high, 5.5% barrel percentage. My God, like. Again, those are the key statistics that make you feel like a guy like that would be very successful playing 81 games at Chase Field. So let's maybe open up the checkbook for him.
Just don't understand why we can pay a guy. I mean, I know it's not exactly apples to apples and the contract will be more, but like we can pay Erod, and we're like, yeah, that's who we're going to pony up for. We're going to give him 4 years. But then a guy like Ranger Suarez becomes available, lefty who's actually good. And it's like, how about we pay him 5 years with a little bit more money per year? And we make the team actually good instead of paying some mid-ass pitcher to be our SP4 $18 million a year or whatever Erod is making. Elrod.
Smell more than that. But all right, what else we got? We got one more?
Yeah, we got one more.
Oof. Not great.
Not great, but also not horrific.
Not terrible.
It's pretty mediocre.
Is this Merrill?
It is not Merrill.
It's not Merrill.
It is an old man, though.
It is an old man. Well, it's an old man. Let me take a look at my list here. Is it Patrick Corbin?
No.
Oh, okay. Who is Justin Verlander?
It is, in fact, Justin Verlander.
Really? All right.
I tried to get a little bit of a weird one because we haven't spoke about him very much at all. We have not talked about Justin Verlander. He has better. I mean, compare him to Zach Gallen here.
43 years old too.
Compare him to Zach Gallen.
Yeah. No, I mean you're not wrong.
It's pretty comparable.
You're not wrong.
Compare him to Lucas Giolito. He's better according to a lot of these expected numbers. Like he had a bad year, but he's not a horrible pitcher at this point of his career.
We have a track record for bringing over former Giants that
are washed.
Washed.
Dude, except Mad Bum was like 32 when he signed that contract, which is the worst part. But didn't Verlander also start the year off like 0-12 or something like that? Like it was ridiculous, his win-loss record. But he actually, I think he ended the season like a little bit stronger. So, yeah, I don't know.
Someone in the chat at one point had said Ketel Marte to the Dominican Republic team is official. I was waiting to hear that news. So I don't see it anywhere yet, but if that is the case, then that is incredible. So
only problem, Derek, is that now we got to find a way to get Ketel and Jerry on the field at the same time. And I'm a little bit scared that you know we're going to see Ketel at second and that Jerry's just going to be riding pine. And it's like, do you guys want to win or not?
Yeah.
Geraldo Perdomo needs to be in your lineup. But yeah, I'm looking at Talking Baseball. They posted a graphic right now of Ketel Marte and joining the Dominican Republic team. So
that's electric.
It does seem
and
official.
I wonder if that was what his post the other day was actually about, because it was the same day that Geraldo Perdomo had made his announcement that he had joined the team. So
oh wow, I looked up just the name Ketel Marte. I didn't even see this. Apparently, a Red Sox beat writer for MassLive.com, 80,000 followers. Derek said that Marcelo Meyer has come up in Dbacks trade talks for Ketel Marte.
Wasn't he just extended?
I don't think he was extended that long ago. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I guess he has a big injury problem, but he's pretty good when he's healthy. But that's classic Dbacks too.
Hard pass. 82 days, by the way, until the World Baseball Classic starts. 70 days from today until spring training games will be played, and 103 days until opening night. So a lot of fun on the horizon. More fun this weekend, by the way, if you are interested in coming and hanging out with us. We are going to be out, and when I say we, I mean me. Your mayor is going to be joining one Bo Brock, one Johnny Venerable, that scamp Noah, and the rest of the PHNX crew for the ultimate Cardinals away game watch parties out at Gila River Resorts and Casinos Wild Horse Pass. So make sure to join us for that. We're going to be having a great time. I am not working. I will just be there in probably some sort of Cardinals player jersey that no longer plays for this team, getting drunk and having a good time with all of you. And then me and Damon are going to go throw some money on Red downstairs. But you can watch the live pre, half, and post-game show with the PHNX Cardinals boys. There are food and drink specials. There will be PHNX giveaways. And as always, the vibes will be immaculate. I am there to curate the vibes. I am the vibes curator. So I will be there to ensure that the vibes are immaculate. This is December 14th at 11 a.m. We are going to get slaughtered by the Houston Texans and their superior defense. I project that the Cardinals will score no points. No points. Maybe 3 points, but 3 or fewer. So there you go if you love getting on the Bet365 app. RSVP for our Cardinals away game watch parties at gophnx.com/events. And yeah, come join us. We're going to have a great time. Look, misery loves company. So if you're a Cardinals fan and you don't know what to do with yourself because what do we do with ourselves when this team is as bad as it is? You come hang out with other Cardinals fans, and we're just all miserable together, and we'll eat waffle fries and have delicious sandwiches. One more thing before we get out of here. The Dbacks did receive an award this week. They were the Minor League Baseball Sportsmanship Award for an organization. And I know this kind of sounds like a cheesy award that they just give out, but the award is presented to the Major League Baseball organization whose minor league personnel best exemplify minor league baseball's commitment to fostering a culture of sportsmanship and professionalism on the field. I will say that the Diamondbacks organization, especially their minor league teams, have always been on point. The Reno Aces, the Amarillo Sod Poodles, the Hillsboro Hops, and the Visalia Rawhide, they've always been extremely well-run organizations, and you constantly see the players that are there getting recognized. The Diamondbacks were one of 4 teams that were finalists for the award, including the Orioles, Tigers, and Giants. But ultimately, the Diamondbacks were the ones that demonstrated continued improvement in on-field behavior over the past 4 seasons and recorded fewer incidents in the past 2 seasons combined than they had in all of 2023. Remarkably, no player, manager, or coach in the entire Diamondback system missed a game due to suspension for on-field conduct in 2025. Honestly, I know this kind of sounds cheesy, and if Killer Rex was here, he would roast me for this, but I will say a lot of that, in my opinion, does start with Torey Lovullo.
Absolutely does.
I know
He trickles down the entire organization.
He does, and he sets such a standard to not show up your opponents to the point it makes us sick at times,
we almost
right?
want them to show up.
We
our
want them
opponents
to
more.
flaunt. We want them to have something that's a home run celebration in the dugout. We want them to do the things the other teams do that add to the fun of baseball, and you don't necessarily feel is showing up the other team. It's more of a celebration of your individual achievement, especially when it comes to like a home run celly, right? But yes, as Michael Dixon says, it's the culture, baby. It is the culture that has been set forward by Torey Lovullo. And again, I know that he is a hot-blooded Italian man that at times blows up on umpires and at times has thrown every umpire on the field out of the game, right?
Yeah, you're gone. You're gone.
But the thing about Torey is he doesn't carry it over.
No.
He has a moment to cool down. He goes back. He talks to us in the media room, and he expresses regret for his own behavior and apologizes to the umpires and tells them that he knows that they're doing the best job that they can. So he is definitely a big part of it. But again, it's because all the way down, the Diamondbacks just have quality personnel, quality managers, quality people developing these young players, teaching them the right way to play the game. And again, just having respect and sportsmanship, which is something that Derek Hall said they stress. Derek Hall said respect and sportsmanship belong in our game, and is something we stress to our players and staff, as well as to all amateur athletes that we engage with through our youth programs. And I've seen that firsthand as well when they're doing their camps, and even honestly their fantasy camp, which is a fantasy camp. It's grown men my age going out there and putting on Diamondbacks jerseys and living their dreams for a day at spring training or for a week or whatever. And even then, it's lessons that, again, I know it sounds corny, but it's lessons that can extend over to life. I don't feel like we have enough respect for one another at times in this life, in this current world. I think that goes for social media. I think it goes for in-person interactions, right? So I think all of us can learn a little bit from sports in regards to respecting others and showing some sort of grace, even in some very stressful situations and some that would cause most of us to lose our minds. I am not a person that shows the best sportsmanship, especially when you get me in traffic in Phoenix, Arizona.
Derek and sportsmanship. The guy is wearing his fantasy football championship ring last night. It happened a season and 3 quarters ago. How long ago did that happen?
I even coordinated and planned where I stood in the group picture so that I could put my hand on Anthony Totre's shoulder, who I beat for that championship by less than 1 point. It's my greatest victory in my entire life, potentially, and I will relive it as often as I damn well please, Damon. All right? If one more Damon tries to stop me, there's going to be some rattlesnakes in the lobby or something like that. But anyway, all right. Well, congratulations to the Diamondbacks on being a solid organization. And even though we give them so much crap for their choices and for things, the winning percentage and kind of being a mediocre team, they do try to do right by the way that they treat others, by the way they treat fans. They still have the lowest prices in Major League Baseball. That ballpark pass is a great gift this holiday season and still the best value that I think you can find for any team offering a season ticket. So, kudos for the Diamondbacks for trying to do things the right way from the top all the way to the bottom. Let's just have, can we have some of that good karma carry over onto the field and help our Major League team win? Maybe we can bring home one more championship. I think the Diamondbacks, again, still need to be in that win now mode with Corbin Burnes being here for what could be a very short amount of time. So hopefully they feel that, and that's the way that they proceed. Can't wait to see some moves. Still hope that move does not involve Ketel Marte, despite the trade that we floated out there today. So we'll see how things develop. And of course, we'll be back here on Monday with another 12 p.m. show. It's another Mailbag Monday. Make sure to send us your questions for that show and make sure to join us then. Until then, have yourselves a wonderful weekend. I know this time of the year can be very stressful for all of us, not just baseball GMs. So make sure to take some time for yourself and make sure you realize that in the grand scheme of things, all of this merchandise purchasing, all this gift purchasing, it's all, don't let it overwhelm you. Okay. Take your time out there. And again, take some time for yourselves and enjoy your weekend. Try to enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you can get your shopping done for those loved ones that you need to get gifts for. Our merch shop, never a bad idea, especially if you're a diehard. But until then, you can follow us on Twitter. I am at cap_caveman with a K. Damon is at Damon Dog with a DAWG. And as always, we're all Damon's dogs. Bark, bark. Our show is at PHNX_Dbacks. But as always, all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Cool Bro would like me to thank John Cena before I get out of here. And actually, I would like to do that exact thing. We were just discussing John Cena's last year in WWE and how they have given us the opportunity to see John Cena do all the things that we never get a chance to see him do. And just how delightful, what a fan service his last year has been. A tip of the cap, custom merchandise for every city that they go to. You have him, turning heel, which he never did. You had him winning the IC belt. It was just a really nice wrap up. I would like to say, as somebody who is now doing this, my start in doing anything journalism related was covering John Cena's 300th wish granted for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. I was a young lad, if you want to call me that at the time. And as I've talked about on the show, my father was involved heavily with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. It's something I still treasure that he was a part of. And I love the fact that my dad was the first national president for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. But the big reason why I went to cover this was my two things interacting. My love of pro wrestling and getting to meet John Cena at was, I believe, America West Arena at the time. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that old. But at where the Suns play, it was my first time being in that media room. It was my first time covering a big celebrity. And I had no idea what the hell I was doing. At the time, I wrote for a local magazine, and most of my articles were about gadgets and gizmos and fun news around the world. It wasn't exactly the most scintillating articles by any stretch of the imagination. But meeting John Cena kind of changed my trajectory quite a bit. I felt like that day, a person of that celebrity, at least to me, could have definitely changed things in a positive or negative for me. I was like a 1930s newsie, Damon. I had a little pad of paper. I didn't even have a recording device to record our interview. I was writing down what he said on a notepad and asking this giant of a man to repeat himself at times to make sure that I got the quotes right. And all he did was patient with me. He put his gigantic hand on my shoulder while we talked, and he gave me all the time I needed to get these questions answered by him. And he was gracious, professional, and amazing, especially to somebody that he had no business giving his time to that day. So I'm still very thankful that John Cena did that for me because, again, I don't know, those moments in life, they're kind of intersections, right? You don't know how a negative experience could have impacted you. I still, to this day, don't know if John Cena would told me to freaking kick rocks, kid. Maybe not kid, because I still think I'm quite older than him. But if told me to kick rocks, I don't know if I would have, maybe gone down this same path. Thankfully, he didn't. Thankfully, he was amazing. And to this day, not only do I still work in media, but I am a pro wrestling manager. By the way, Ocean Avery will smash your face in if you ever say anything mean to me on Twitter. That's just a warning. But anyway.
John Cena is 48, Derek.
Oh, he is 48. So it was kid. He got to kid me.
Yeah, for sure. He's older than you.
Anyway, congrats to John Cena on an incredible career, and I look forward very much to watching him in his next phase to be an incredible actor. He has done a great job with all the stuff that he's been a part of, and I'm a huge fan. Again, just a guy that really is so multifaceted. He's so deep. He's so intelligent. Someone was saying that they were waiting to do an interview with him, and he just started randomly playing the piano, and it was the most beautiful piano playing they've ever witnessed someone play in person in their life. So this man is incredible.
That was the PHNX John Cena podcast.
I mean, I'll do a whole pro wrestling podcast if you ask me to.
we just did 7 minutes on Cena.
I've only done
if you want any more proof,
3,000 of them.
This is just a vessel of me and Derek's interest to talk about our own interests.
Yeah, for sure.
Then this is the proof of it right now, because we just did 7 minutes on Cena.
Let's talk about fast food while we're at it. We want to talk about what do you want to talk about? I don't know. Well, that was all Cool Bro's fault, but thank you so much. Appreciate you for asking that, because I love to share that story. And again, very, very awesome guy. Awesome guy. Favorite Cena match has to be the ECW match. Has to be the ECW match by far. Great stuff from him in that environment, and it was the thing that turned him, I think, in the favor of a lot of us that were kind of fed up with Super Cena at that point in his career. So again, it's changes, adapting, making finding ways to still be relevant. He's always done a good job at that. But we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Join us out at Gila River Resorts and Casinos, Wild Horse Pass, if you want to talk more about professional wrestling with me. Damon won't let me do anymore, but that's what we're here for. We appreciate you guys so much. Again, I gave you all of our stuff. We thank you for your time. We'll see you on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when we finally stop talking about trading Ketel Marte.
We all silly like the mayor.